format. In GSL, you play 2 games or 3 games, depending on how it goes. But here, players have more chances to show their play and perhaps experiment a little bit more.
Indeed. It is the biggest Warcraft Gold League ever. And we started with 2 of the biggest orcs that we've ever had in Warcraft 3. It is the nowadays classic between newbie and rogue warriors. It is Korea versus China, also a classic. It is Lin versus Fly. We're getting into match number 1. Oh boy. I feel like I'm a 12-year-old broken record that's almost as long as I cast Warcraft 3, and I've been casting Fly games for pretty much all 12 years. And whenever there's a Fly game, we have to mention one very important thing, Mr. Remo Demo, and that is how often will he lose his Blade Master?
Always a big determining factor. It is a meme, but one that is actually true. Fly plays oftentimes so riskily with this first hero, and what we're expecting here will certainly be the Blade Master. On Echo Isles especially, we talked earlier about the Shadow Hunter, but for that you really need to rely on quick creeping, ideally with a lightning shield. That's not doable here, so Blade Master, especially with all the claws sprinkled across the map, seems like the only hero you can really go for. And then it's about creep routes. How quick are you going to tech? How many items are you going to be able to pick up? How much experience will you be able to get?
Let's take a look at the first heroes first as the altars are finishing on Echo Isles. It is Lin going for Blade Master. That's the standard, especially on Echo Isles. And Fly!
Whoa!
Okay. Okay.
On
it's
Echo.
Lin, actually. It's Fly with the Blade and Lin with the Shadow Hunter on Echo. That's something new. He wants to get revenge for that AZ game in CC Masters.
2 borrow tech as well. I think he has to play like that. He needs to get more grunts out for more creeping. Last time I saw Shadow First from Lin was at the Blizzard Invitational. How long was that ago? Like 1.5 years or something?
Yep.
Against Happy. It was a phenomenal game, by the way. Huh. So, wait a minute. Does that have to mean Pit Lord?
Not necessarily. You can follow up with a Blade Master as well. Depends a little on the items he finds, I guess. And how fast can you get level 2 with a Blade to unlock at least Critical Strike. Because that's what you lack when you go Shadow Hunter first. You lack damage. And if you get a Blade Master level 2 with good items, you have that damage and Critical Strike. Pit Lord brings the damage as well, and damage mitigation on the other side. So things are equaling out a little with that Pit Lord initially. So plenty of options for Lin to go for. He is the innovator of orcs, and he shows it here once again. Historically, between the two, opening up with a circlet, by the way, it's always very nice. Historically, between the two, Lin has 20 wins over Fly, 10 wins for Fly, so it's a 66% win rate pretty much for Lin. On this patch, 1.31, it's still 1-1, so we have a little bit of a grudge match here.
Blade Master's coming over, gets the claws, and a nice little drive-by. And there's no Hex to deal with them just yet.
It's heal wave first, indeed, and here, oh, a little slow coming out of the window. Maybe he wants to trap him here, but there is this little niche where he can pass through. Good for Fly. Oh, he has the vision, I was about to say. Lin doesn't, but by revealing the Blade Master, Lin knows what's up and can take things a little more carefully here. The tier 2 tech by Fly is a lot faster, of course, due to the 1 burrow tech.
Yeah. And so it's basically in his best interest to play aggressively right now. He sees, okay, you went for the 2 burrow tech, you got the 2 grunts out. I can't really keep up with your creep speed. Is he... Wait, did he see the heal wave? Like, Fly isn't even bringing in his grunt. He's just elsewhere on the map. Perhaps he's afraid of Hex. Maybe that's the reason. Shadow at the shop, that must be the dust. Makes dealing with the Blade Master a lot easier.
Fly is chipping away a little on these grunts, and that might force early use of heal self, which with the Shadow Hunter, don't you want to like save the money for the heal self because you have healing anyway? He's using it now to be able to contest this Blade Master, but it's good distraction by Fly. He wants to keep the Shadow Hunter away from level 3, and it's working marvelously so far.
Yeah, good slowdown here. Question is, how good is his own progress going to be? You do want that level 2 pretty early on. And level 3, ideally, pretty quickly as well, so you can solo level the Shadow Hunter, which will be the second hero for anything else would be quite surprising. Blade Master looking for some last hits, but there we go, finally.
Just a tiny null. That doesn't do too much, but again, slows Lin down a little bit more. This is not how the Korean expect this early game to go. You want this jump start with faster creeping thanks to Hex. Maybe this being Lin, maybe you want to open up the natural for this expansion.
Yeah, I think
would be pretty ludicrous, but I mean, Lin is Lin.
And Fly's just playing a pretty good counter strat here, I feel. A good counter build. This Shadowhunter can't control the Blade Master just yet. Really hard to prevent last hit steals. And Fly's doing a good job slowing this first hero of the Korean down. This is a big last hit. This might be level 2 actually for the Shadow. I think it should be if he gets it.
We'll see it in the overlay. If not on the screen, there we go. Shadowhunter level 2. That means Hex usually. And here we go. The disable ability for the Shadowhunter will help against this Blade, but he's tanking a little too many hits, I think. Okay, uses a speed scroll now as well, and Fly just walking away, healing up, is waiting for the Shadowhunter, I guess. Should pop out any minute. Lin arriving on tier 2 as well. It's Raider Walker time, but what is his second hero?
Looks like Pit Lord. He's going to the tavern.
Fly with great scouting.
Nice thing about the Pit Lord here is also you want to be able, of course, to level him quickly, but you also need items. And on Echo Isles, always, if you don't find the damage items, you can buy the damage items. And here he is, the big boy Pit Lord. They've been good friends for a while, these two.
Yep.
If you haven't tuned into Warcraft for a while, this might surprise you, but this strat has been pretty popular, even on 1.30, I would say, the early days. It began against Night Elf, but nowadays also in the Orc Mirror.
Okay, Lightning Shield creep by Fly. This will be level 2 for him. And how much can the Blade Master Fly steal at the shop? That would be big denies right there. But we focus on the Shadowhunter for now. Fly is not denying anything just yet. So this looks good. Also not using spells here, saving the mana. 2.1 only. Like, did there we go! A vintage Fly! First game of the tournament, and he is losing his Blade Master to Hex. Unfortunate, I guess, but
Fly.
It's just Fly.
We just saw the tail end of this, but Hex level 1 doesn't last that long. That means he must have gone in with pretty low HP. Yeah. At least
he denied a lot, though, right? I think he denied at least one creep
from the Mercamp.
Yeah, from the merchant.
Stole, you mean?
Yeah,
possibly. And it's a level 1 hero, so at least he's going to be back soon. But the Pit Lord keeps on creeping. Ring form is actually really nice.
Yes. If you tune into this for the first time in a while, rings actually are useful now. They got buffed from +2 to +3, and armor in general became a little more efficient in Warcraft. We will see that definitely on Mountain Kings and Torrent Chieftains down the tournament. But nice steal by Lin to go for the bottom right, to steal the experience of Fly there. The map is pretty much mirrored in half. There's 2 unique spots, one at the 12 o'clock and one at the 6 o'clock. But apart from that, usually you own one half of the map. And by stealing this, he denies some XP for Fly, which is so important, especially for the Shadowhunter, who's approaching level 3.
Biggest problem, I guess, with this Blade Master hero loss was that Fly for a while lost all map control, and there's only one shop. And of course, our B2W boys will know about shop control. Only one heal scroll. That is a massive item in this matchup, and that one went to Lin, thanks to the hero kill. Pretty close to level ups here. Shadow almost level 3. Pit Lord getting close to 3 as well. And the Merc camp seems to be the perfect camp now to get those level ups, which means Fly is going to get the big item at the Ogre Magi. The big mana potion is always what you want. That's what he's hoping for right now.
Yeah, kind of surprised that Lin gives up the consumable pretty much uncontested, just buying time for this mercenary camp creep, getting level 3 finally, and that is heal wave level 2 on him.
Yeah, he was too hurt, I think, to contest. He didn't have heal salves anymore. He was creeping pretty aggressively.
This is a big one right there. We have the big mana potion on the SH of Fly, but we also have the Pendant of Energy on Lin's side. So both are able to use a couple of more spells. And a Pendant of Energy for Fly as well.
And it's level 2 Serpent Boards, by the way.
What? Oh, yeah.
It's good against grunts, but against everything else, it doesn't really seem that good.
Is he? Okay,
tower
push on tier 2. What? Okay. Still lack of damage. All heroes level 3. Let's go. Cleave does a ton of damage, and the lack of range is definitely seeable here. How do you counter the wards now?
Oh, the cleave. Look every hit. How the XP is dropping. If he gets the right angle, this is so much DPS. Looking certainly like more DPS than the level 2 Blade Master. His items are okay, but now he's low. He has to be careful with an End Snare coming. This could be again his end. Reveal coming in. End Snare not ready though, as it seems. And there's a Kodo here for Lin. Where's Fly's Kodo?
Not coming. He used that time for the towers, I guess, or the resources. He's cleaning up the wards, and Fly has to retreat. This is why we usually do not see tower rushes in Orc Mirror, especially not on tier 2. It's seemingly easy defense for Lin, but Fly, not willing to go all in, holds on to his potion, can save that for later. Serpent Wards 2, was that the best idea? He needs to creep level 4 now to be able to take a fight. But he gets the next heal wave as well.
Difficult position here. We have a 13 supply lead for the Korean. How is he going to capitalize on this advantage? He could just creep up the rest of the map or continue to force fights. Buying more claws, more damage for this Pit Lord who's getting close to level 4. Shadowhunter close to 4 as well. A well-timed Hex could be a big deal. This Blade Master already has issues finding his damage output, his uptime. And Hex could make that even more problematic.
Okay, with that choke, does it help Fly? I don't think so. The Pit Lord can tank a lot, and then a lot of units will attack him. He can use that cleave down to 2/3 at the moment. Then the shop is gone. That means no clarities, no potions for the Shadowhunter. Not that big of a deal at the moment, but once again, slowing Fly down.
I was half expecting a Peon expansion here behind this little push.
Oh, there's a red dot moving south, Remo. Maybe it's the call.
Oh, that makes sense. He's got the money for it. Also really important, by the way, that Lin held on to that heal scroll during that push. So he still has that to rely on, which again is such a big item when so much Spirit Link is involved.
So again, Pit Lord front row with the Spirit Link. Such a nice synergy that he's capitalizing off. 2 Kodos for Fly. Could eat units, but he needs a speed scroll for that, I guess. Otherwise he will be caught with the End Snare. And it's just a little back and forth by now. No one really wants to commit to this fight.
The strat is looking so good though, committing now a little bit to the Pit Lord. But he's so tanky, Howl coming in. And the thing is, if you dispel the Howl on you, you also dispel your own Spirit Link. This makes it really weird to deal with this debuff. Aiming for the Kodo right away. 1 Kodo for Fly, got to eat. Lin with a counter devour. 2 units now out of the fight. Blade Master once again a little bit hurt here in the front line. But 1 Kodo will fall. There was a heal scroll. It seems like Fly was able to get one with the Blade Master early, but that one is gone now.
Yeah, both used their heal scrolls. The good thing for Fly is he still has so much mana on the Shadowhunter. He can just pop it and then heal again. But he is losing the second Kodo. That was a mistake. He was waiting for level 4, but it didn't arrive in time. So finally the level 2 heal wave. That's worth the mana potion. Fly still 40 supply though, dropping in supply. The Pit Lord is still standing so strong. And where's the healing now? It must come from the Shadowhunter, but it only comes in intervals, and that is time for Lin to clean it up even more. Fly plummeting to 37 supply while Lin is expanding. It's looking good for the Korean.
If this expansion comes up, this game looks almost unlosable then for the Korean. Blade Master, does he perhaps have the read? The Blade by himself could perhaps cancel this expansion. But yeah, we have to come back to the Serpent Wards. Like, where we actually see him being really good is against unarmored units, the Huntresses. There's no unarmored here. Well, I guess there's the Kodos, but normally they're not in range. I'm not so convinced about this build at all.
I don't really get it either. Maybe he thought, okay, he's so high on melee units that he can't take them out, and then the damage output is still good. But no, Lin found the answer pretty much immediately.
Inventory is looking good. We have 4 damage items, 1 armor item. Fly. What is that attack? That looks weird.
Yeah, like no consumables as well. He's just walking to a meat grinder, isn't he? He wants to take out a production building maybe, but here we go. End Snare again, the most important thing in Orc Mirror. Take out these Kodos, but it will take time. There is Spirit Link on. But how do you deal with this Pit Lord? Fly has no answer. He's trying with right clicks, but no.
And the Chinese doing a pretty good job here splitting. He was trying to avoid the splash as much as he can from the cleave. But at this point, he's just too far behind. 10 supply deficit, not really something you can come back from. Kodo is going to die despite all the attempts to save it. Oh, and the Shadowhunter might be falling next.
Hex.
Hex coming in and
right
snare.
Clicks, and that must be it. Without a Shadowhunter, you cannot win Orc Mirror. The Kodo falls now. The Serpent Wards do good damage, especially to the walkers here. But apart from that, what does he have left? He's trying desperately to get a counter kill on the first hero for Lin, but he just moves him back, gets to the shop, gets something to drink, and he will be fine again.
Yeah, the Serpent Board's actually being ignored now for a while. It seemed like earlier Lin was trying to take him out, but for the time being, they're just being, left alone. But Lin is finding more and more kills. 5 on the Pit Lord. That's the second hero, you guys.
That's so much damage. Level 3 cleave. There's no way against it. GG! Lin takes map number 1 here in Shanghai. Fly, weird strategies. Of course,